Hello, I think I'm live and I'm trying to put my iPad on and I'm wondering if my batteries ran out. Sometimes I check that before, like the day before when I'm just finishing up that video and I'm seeing that it just looks completely dead. So I think I failed on that, but you know what? I can usually see your comments on my phone and that helps too. Hi, Julie. I can see that you're joining in, so that's good. And hi, Carol, too. So happy Friday. And this is my 10th card out of my 10 May virtual stamp camps, and a little bit sad almost for a couple reasons. So that means I'm going to be taking a little bit of break for the rest of the month to kind of finish up the orders that you guys have been placing for my May cards, and also to get ready for the next new catalog. And so that takes a little bit of reorganizing and a little bit more brainstorming on my end too, just because there's been a couple of you that want some virtual stamp parties, and so I want to get some good ideas going for that too. Hi Lois, thanks for joining in. So cute story though, today the UPS man, I knew he was coming, and I also was feeding my rock pickers this afternoon, and I kind of wanted to give them a little bit of a treat, so I made some chocolate chip M&M cookies, and I know you guys like seeing those, so I had them really presented well here, but then I kind of have to hang on to them, otherwise they'll slide right off the plate. So those are my chocolate chip M&M cookies. I have a really good recipe, and they're secret. My recipe is secret, but I love how they turn out every time too. So that was kind of fun. But he is a great UPS driver, and he knows that when he comes on the yard and sees a whole bunch of cars here, that it's likely there's stamp camp going on. So not only has he been missing out like you guys have been missing out, but he's not getting any treats either, because if he comes on stamp camp day, I'm always good about giving him the treats that you guys get too. So I did give him some cookies to send on his way, and boy, did that brighten up his day. I thought, oh, it's cookies, you know. You never know if people like or appreciate homemade things, and so so it was kind of cute to see him really perk up about that, like it was a big deal. So that kind of surprised me more than I thought it would. Hi, Tammy. So hopefully something that might perk you guys up. Let me know if you guys start to see catalogs in your mailbox next week. I think I might put a post here on my Facebook business page just for you guys to chime in and say, hey, it came, or sometimes I even do a contest. So let me think that over too. Sometimes I'll make you like post a selfie of you with your catalog, and then you might win some kind of new product from the new catalog too. So I want to think over something fun to do for you guys. And so how the catalogs work is, because we're not seeing each other like we have in the past, I had all my regular customers that have been ordering from me. I'm having those catalogs shipped straight from Salt Lake City to your mailboxes, so that you should be seeing them soon. And so then the other thing is, here's a big box. See if I can hoist it up. Okay, so this is my big box that the UPS man did deliver. And in here is all the new stuff from the catalog that I could pre-order so far, the new annual catalog. So on Monday afternoon, I think I'll come back and open that. Well, I think I'll open up that box beforehand, but just give you guys a peek at what's coming up. And if you have your catalogs, it's kind of fun to follow along to see what the things look like as far as size. Sometimes you look in the catalog and you see colors and you see punches and different things, or stamp sets, but I can't show you the inside of the catalog of mine yet, that I have until June 3rd, but I can show you the actual products, the physical products. So that's what makes the unboxing fun for me too. So check back Monday afternoon for that. There won't be any card demonstration. It'll just be my unboxing of the new catalog pre-order products that I'm able to get. And so anytime anybody signs up to be a demonstrator, that's one of the perks, is that the month before a catalog starts live is you can order the products there that month ahead of time too. So that's kind of fun too. They don't give us the whole catalog to look from, but a pretty good assortment. So I'm excited about what is in that box. Obviously it's a pretty big box, so they don't limit us that much in what we can get. So let me get started. Hey Tammy, hi Beth, hi Lisa, thanks for joining in. And so today, here's the card that I'm going to be putting together for you guys, and it's backwards for now until I get the camera turned around to actually make the card. I have some sparkly gold things on there, and I really struggled today with the card. And the whole reason I think I struggled is because I've been going through these 10 days trying to pick out stamp sets that are on that retiring list, that this will be their final woohoo, and then they get packed away, and then my shelf opens up to put those new products on. So so today being the last day, it's almost the pressure and the stress of which, like looking at your stamp sets, which one deserves the last, you know, hurrah. So I actually am using 3 different stamp sets. I'm only using 3 stamps on the whole entire card, but they all come from a different stamp set. So hopefully that'll give you some variety too, or even if you don't feel like you can get all 3 of the stamp sets, you might go, you know what, this is great because I have something similar already, and then you can put together my card based on my sample based on things that you already have too. So hopefully that'll be good. So yeah, I really had a tough time, and that's part of the reason why my Facebook Live is a little bit later today, but I also had kind of a lot going on too. And so I was almost hoping that you guys could see the little grandson today. He's been running around here back and forth a little bit, but mostly here. So right now he's with Grandpa, and yeah, Grandpa's kind of like got, or I don't know who has who wrapped around their finger, put it that way. So that's kind of fun too. Hi Sherry, thanks for joining in. So I think I'm ready to demo the card. So let me get the camera moved around for you so that you can see. Let me move my tripod down. That way you get a good eye view here of my workstation. Oops, whoa, there we go. Sometimes I never know what kind of angle it's going to give me, and I don't want it to get too low so that you can't see anything either, but I love it that I'm figuring out how to do this so you don't have my image of my card backwards. Okay, so there we go. I was trying to get it as close to the edge, and I never want my elbow to make it jump off the table either. Hi Pam, thanks for joining in. So like I said, if you're just joining in, my iPad is like dead today, and I'm so bummed about that. So usually I have this to help with comments, and I'm like press, and it is dead. I didn't do a good enough job, I think, checking on that, but usually as I'm demonstrating anyway, I hold the card up close, and then when I do that, to make sure that the card's in there, I can see your comments. So if you have questions or comments, please still ask away, because I love answering them right as I'm doing my demonstration, just because maybe somebody else has that same question. So here again is the card, and it's got some petal pink and some soft suede that we're going with, and then some of the glitter gold paper too. Okay, so let me start with the stamp sets that I'm using. Like I said, I'm only using 3 different stamps on the whole card, but I'm using them from 3 different stamp sets. Hi Deb, thanks for joining in. So the main background flower here comes from Flourishing Phrases, and this stamp set, if you booked any events or parties or did anything with me, this will be a familiar set that you have seen several times. I love the flourish, I love the big flower, I love the leaf. It has several different good sentiments in it, and it's a double set, so that means lots of stamps. And then it also has some great dies. I'm just going to do a little flash at that only now, because I'm not even using the dies today, but some really neat ornate dies, and even just like this one leaf that's pretty intricate. I have used that leaf over and over and over several times too. So this whole 10-piece set is retiring for the dies, but like I said, I'm not using them today. And then the other stamp set that I'm using today is my Artisan Textures. Love the stamp set. I was really sad the last go round a while back when they got rid of Gorgeous Grunge stamp set, and it was kind of that same type of stamp set. So if I can put this close up, I'm going to emboss these little areas here, and I pulled that from here, but I also enjoy using just this as a stamped off background, and this could make nice sand or waves and just, you know, fun little splatters for texture, and I love adding to cards with that. And then the last one is thanks for the laughs. And so actually should have been showing you where they are in the catalog too. So let me kind of back up just a hair. So annual catalog has on page 35, there we go, 35 has the flourishing phrases, and then it also has below there where the dies are found. And then I just talked about artisan textures, and that is found at the top of page 152 if you like to follow along. Neither one are on sale. I always like to check that as well. Okay, so then the last stamp set that I'm using one is Thanks for the Laughs, and that is from the Handmade for You January through June catalog on page 11. And there's so many great sentiments in here too, from thanks for the laughs. So you'd think it would all be like, like lighthearted and, you know, comical things. And there is one, like, no one will ever be as entertained by us as us. So that's a great one. And I love how it coordinates with some other fun images that Stampin' Up! Has come out with. But today I'm going to use the How Did I Get So Lucky to Have a Friend Like You? And I love the font of that, how it's kind of plain, but then a couple fun words that kind of pop there too. So, hi, Linda. Okay, so I will set that aside, and I kind of like, as I was creating this card, I came up with so many different color combinations, and once again, what should be layered, what shouldn't, and I made it like way too stressful, like I said, just because when it's retiring things and it's the last card of 10, I know sometimes you guys ask, like, is it hard to come up with the 10 ideas? And I'll always say, no, it's hard to narrow it down to 10. And that's exactly how I felt today. So that's kind of how that works on my end. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, like I said, the card base is soft suede 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then for the pinkish peachy color, that is petal pink. And I cut that down a little bit more than I usually do. So this is 3.75 by 5. And so that petal pink is the same color of ink pad that I'm going to use too. So I'm going to open that up, and then I'm going to pull out that really big flower from the Flourishing Phrases. And I'm just going to stamp that out, ink it up, and stamp it solid. And then without re-inking, I'm going to just move it around like about 3 times. And then I'm going to pick kind of another spot and do that same thing. But I do want to tell you, if I go off the paper, then I'm done, because then what it does is takes off some of the ink, and yet some of the ink will be on there. So if I go onto a different spot, I'll actually see a line kind of in my ink. So if I want to fill in this area lighter, I just ink it up again, tap it off to get that first ink onto my paper, but then the lighter ink goes on here. So, and then I can fill that in. So that's kind of how I do that. And I'm just going to, since I went off the paper there, then that one's already done. And this one, I'm going off the paper there, so that one's done. So I'm just going to tap off, and it kind of went off, but not there, so I can do that. And I'm going to tap off and then add to the middle and fill that all in. So I've got lots of full flowers, and this is going to be just kind of a background. And then to add to that background, that is where I'm going to pull in my Versamark. And I'm just going to add some like little bubble sprinkle looking things, kind of about 4 of them here, there. And because this is my Versamark and it's a clear ink, you won't see anything on here until I put the gold embossing powder on. So today's Technique embossing day. So I'm going to put this on. And some of this is going to stick to some of the flowers too. so you can tell which flowers I did last. I don't want it to stick really intense onto those flowers, but I did kind of want to have a little bit of a, I don't know, that shabby cheek look, and but I did want the dots to really get the embossing powder. So I just put tons of embossing powder on just because I can shake it and tap it right back into there. And like I said, on purpose, I didn't wait for the ink to dry totally. I wanted a little bit of that to stick so that gold powder can kind of stick here and there for an extra little bit of special shine. And I'm going to set that aside. And then my greeting I'm going to emboss too, and that was the one that I pointed out from the stamp set. How did I get so lucky to have a friend like you? And I just have a white piece here, and I have a little bit of embossing powder on my hands, so I'm gonna get that off. And so this little strip is 1 inch by 2.75. Yep, 1 inch by 2.75. And I'm just going to center that on some lines on my paper, and then hopefully this will be centered as well. And that you can't see either, it's like invisible ink. But once I put that gold embossing powder on, it sticks to that. So then we go, oh, there it is. So the powder sticks to that. And then the best part is once it shows up, I go, whew. And not only did it all stamp out great, it stamped out straight too. Okay, so then I start up my heat tool here. And I hope that it's not loud. I want to get it really close here to the camera. I'm trying to think, there, now I'm going to surround the camera kind of. Ooh, actually, it's really hot. I was hoping I could hold it with my hands. I'm going to just take my take your pick to hold it down. I was hoping I could get it closer, but I'll do that on the next layer. So I'm just going to back that off. I didn't think about that step of it when I was doing it in my craft room before I brought it out here. So sometimes if that's the case, I have a clipboard that I can clip it to, or you guys, if you're in my class, you can do that. Or even a clothespin. Okay, so now I can go to this, and because this is a bigger piece of paper, you'll be able to see. So I'm going to, actually, if I maybe even go from the back, I'm trying to think if you can see it heat up and become kind of shiny and embossed. Otherwise, I feel like I'm covering it up with the heat gun. There, I see it catching the light and becoming shiny and gold. I want to make sure all that other powder gets set with the heat tool as well. Hi, Heather. Hi, Kelly. I'm just going to move this around. And yeah, you can put too much heat on here when you're doing this. Not only does it make your paper, or cardstock, I should say, kind of wrinkle, crinkle, it also will kind of burn your paper, and it will look scorched, and it's not a pretty thing to have it look like that. Okay. Because I'm trying to get all those extra little pieces that were kind of stuck too. Hi, Linda. Okay, so I hope that wasn't too loud, because it's like one of those things that I might be talking and think I can hear you fine, but it might be that the heat gun, just because of the tone of it, it might be really loud too. So this is like the kind of day that I've been having. Like, I was struggling with, do I want my card to be matted like at an angle or straight on, or, you know, all that kind of stuff. All right, I just wanted to even that out because it didn't look like they were the same length on top and bottom. Okay, so yeah, this is where I struggled today. Hi, Tabitha. Is I didn't know if I wanted my card layer. I'm going to put it in there. Like, I want to show you how I almost did it just to give you some ideas in case you go, you know what, I like that. Okay, so this is how the card really will go, but I kind of wanted to do like a fun tilt layer, and then I could kind of tilt the other two layers on there too. And that always makes kind of for a fun, attractive look to offset it there. But I think because my next layers were going to be so, how do I want to say, that same kind of rectangle look, then I didn't know if I needed them to be like offset as well. And then I didn't know if everything looked a little kitty wampus like that. So it's like, oh, I think I thought, okay, Belle, it's getting late in the day. It is Friday. People have other things in their lives to do. So I thought, let's just make all the angles straight today and just finish the card. So I stopped debating what I wanted to do. All right, so there I am just putting that layer, and you can see that that this layer, like I talked about earlier, is a little cut down less than I normally do, which gives you more of the edge for the outside there of the soft suede that shows. And then I'm just using a little scrap. So like I said, this layer was 1 by 2.75. And then this scrap of the gold glimmer paper, which is retiring. I sure hope they bring that back in the holiday catalog because everybody loves the gold, the silver, all those shiny papers. And so we're just wondering as demonstrators, since we use these more during the holidays, if they will bring those back. But right now it's on the retiring list.